everybody, welcome. It's me, John, aka Nosey, and I'm back. From TFN Manchester 2026, I'm going to be doing right now my post thoughts and haul video. So this is my thoughts and boughts. So yes, well, where can I start on this one? This was definitely a first for me. I do mention this in my vlog. My vlog is coming. My vlog is uploading for about 5 o'clock Monday. You will see that I do mention this. This was definitely a first for me. It was different for me because this was the first time I solo tripped. Well, actually, I'm trying to recollect. Is it my first time actually going? Yes, it is. It's actually my second time going to a TFN event on my own. Actually travelling to on my own and travelling home on my own. But I think this was the first time that I've actually had a hotel room on my own. It's definitely interesting because when it comes to a TFNation event, I am that used, and it's just engraved in the whole part of it, of going up with either Tony, Son of SG1, or Sam, or both. You know, going up with Sam, was a Firestorm, and Son of SG1, Tony. I'm either travelling up with those two guys or not. You know, it's just So I'm either travelling up with them two, but it felt really weird, but also kind of cool at the same time. That it was just me, myself, and I. I went up Friday, the day before, because even though Manchester's not very far from me, it's only, well, by road it's like 2 hours. However, I just thought, I want a little break away from the normal every day, and I just thought to just go with 2 nights in the hotel. I just thought, for me personally, it's just easier because when it comes to getting back home, I would have to probably get a train home. So my preferred transportation is National Express. The problem is getting home on the same day would mean I would not have much time to be at the event if I was to come home the same day. Travelling up on the Saturday, I likely would miss a lot of stuff. I would probably miss a lot of the schedule and everything. So I just thought travelling up the Friday, getting an extra night in the hotel was my best option. I went up the Friday, travelled up the Friday. I was working Thursday, finished work on the Thursday, and then I got my shopping bits as you do. And then Friday, I believe it was 9:55 in the morning that my coach departed from Hull. So yeah, I got on my merry way, and for some reason, unfortunately, I had to have a layover or divert, or get a connecting coach at Leeds. So I don't know what this is. I go into this in my vlog as well. But for some reason, I don't know whether it's down to driver change or if it's just because the coach I got, it was actually going all the way to London. So it picked up first in Hull and it goes all the way to London. So the end of that coach's journey is London. So I don't know what it is, unless it's just something to do with Manchester. I don't know. But for some reason, because when I go to TFNation 2026, or the main TFNation in Birmingham, Hull to Birmingham, I can go completely direct without any diversions, without any changes halfway through the journey. So, anyway, so I get on the coach. I get on my merry way, get to Leeds. I have 2 hours 2 hours respite in Leeds. So I went round the indoor and outdoor market area that's just next door to the coach station. And I went to a shop called the Travelling Man, just in the city centre there, and yeah, just had a little mosey on around for an hour or so. Got back to the coach station, managed to catch my connecting coach, and I got into Manchester for about 3:15 in the afternoon. As I get off the coach, I notice the legend that is my good friend Adam White waiting for me, getting off the coach. And he very kindly, he was actually planning on meeting people that were travelling for TFN anyway. So it's not just, he didn't just come to see me, just me, or I was not the only reason why he came out. Um, but no, he was meeting a few other people. I believe he said he was going to meet up with some of the Battersea guys that were travelling for the convention on the Friday as well. But yeah, so yeah, Adam White, he met me off the coach and he said, would you like to go and have a look around the northern quarter of Manchester? So we went for a little walk around the northern quarter, had a look around some of the favourite little spots where Adam likes to do his photography and all that. So we went around, had a walk, had a little chat, had a little catch up, because it's been a while since I've seen Adam for a long time, face to face anyways, in person. But no, so we, have a little, I think about half an hour, 40 minutes, just having a look around some of the shops. Went around the Travelling Man in Manchester as well. We went round another shop as well. I can't remember the name of it, but it literally was one of the weirdest shops I've ever known. But no, so yeah, he kindly showed me where I need to go for the hotel, for the Pendulum Hotel. So yeah, I end up getting to the Pendulum Hotel, get checked in, and the check-in process at that hotel was absolutely easy, because this is the first time. This is the first time, or this event, TFN Manchester 2026 was the very first event that I actually got my own hotel room. I am 36 years old and I've never stayed in a hotel room on my own before. I've always either shared rooms, like I'm like either, yeah, I've either shared rooms with at least one person or multiple people. So I'm used to kind of like having a hotel room but sharing with other people. So this was definitely the first. It was definitely a first for me, actually having my own hotel room, my own little space. So that was very interesting. I mean, I didn't feel too out of sorts, I know, obviously, but it was a very interesting experience of like traveling down on my own and actually getting my hotel room on my own as well. It was really kind of cool. I'm 36 years old, and that is like the first experience of actually being in a hotel room on my own. Like, I booked it myself, paid for it myself. It's my room, nobody else sharing with me. It's just me, myself, and I. It was kind of cool. The Friday, I don't show very much of Friday, like the social aspect of it in my vlog. I actually, the Friday, there wasn't very many people there. There was just the odd few. There was like the TF the Show guys were there, of course. There was, I forget names at this moment in time, but you know what I mean. Whoever was there on the Friday for TFN Manchester 2026, you know who you are. If we spoke and we actually did speak on the Friday, then then yeah. Friday was very chilled. It wasn't very busy. There was a couple of busy points at the bar because the weather was really mental over the last weekend there. It was hailstone, blowing a gale, raining. It was unreal, people. I've never, literally, I remember going for a little walk around Manchester on the Saturday, and literally I stepped out, it was sunshine, and I walked like 2 or 3 steps down the path to go down the road, and all of a sudden it starts raining, like slowly, and then all of a sudden it just drops, and then hailstones coming down. I was like, what the hell's going on here? Then about 5 minutes later, it's glorious sunshine again. So the Friday was really simple, very chilled. There was a couple of, like, the bar at the Pendulum Hotel is, if the weather was better, then it could very easily accommodate a lot more people, because the bar is what's called the Garden Bar at the Pendulum Hotel, and it opens up into like an outdoor seating area. So there is a bit more of a bigger space, but of course it all works on whether the weather is good enough or not. But when the weather was bad, like it was over the weekend, not many people are going to brave the elements and go and stand outside. So everybody was literally like in the actual indoor bar bit, and there's very limited space when it comes to like seating and tables and things. So that was the only that was one of the downsides to the hotel. I mean, obviously it's got no knock. There's no knock whatsoever about the event itself. I've got no issue with the TFNation and the people running it. You know, that is just my personal opinion. The bar is it, yeah, and also there's only like 2 people working the bar at any one time, and it's very slow service as well. So the queues would build up quite regularly. And also, I will say as well, I do mention all of this in my vlog as well. But yeah, I've got like, there was a real weird like off milk sour smell in my room, and it only seemed to develop when the extractor fan thing on the shower kicked in. When I first got into my room after checking in on the Friday, it smelt perfectly fine. It smelt clean. It smelt really good. And then automatically, as you turn the lights on and everything, and the card like trips like the meter or something, the electricity, as you go in, and then the extractor fan just comes on and it's just constantly on. You can't turn it off. It's really annoying. That's all you hear all the time, is it going. That's all you hear. But yeah, this real weird sour off milk smell just was constantly in the room, which was a little annoying, but it was only me on my own, what can I say? But no, so they were the only little downsides to the hotel itself. The actual, we're getting away from Friday now. Friday was absolutely fantastic, really enjoyed it. It was really chilled, like I said. We had a few drinks, met some people. Jermaine was there, my good friend Jermaine. There was Owen. There was there was a fair few people that made the trek down on the Friday. The magnitude of the people came on the Saturday. So yeah, so long behold, have a few drinks, go to bed. We get up on the Friday. The registration desk was all getting set up at that time. I went in for breakfast on the Saturday morning. Came out, and then I noticed they were just setting everything up for the registration desk for the event, for the TFNation people. I go outside for a bit of fresh air. And then all of a sudden, I get collared over by Grace, the brilliant Grace, Dave Wallace's wife. And she says, "Oh, I just want to let you know, I completely forgot, but there was a T-shirt with buying my ticket. I ordered a T-shirt as well. I completely forgot about it altogether, to be honest." And she said, "Unfortunately, we don't have that T-shirt. We thought we would have, but it wasn't in the boxes. We just didn't have it with us." So she said, "You can eat." Grace was like very, very sorry about it, and I was just like, "Oh right, okay, I completely forgot, to be honest with you." And she just said, "Well, the T-shirt, we can either give you a refund or send it out to you in the post." And I was like, "Just send me it in the post. I don't have a problem with waiting a little bit longer for it." So yeah, I've got a T-shirt on the way from TFNation. That is not included in my haul or anything, but I will mention it when it comes. So the Saturday, like I said, I got told my T-shirt was not there. So Grace was very, very apologetic, and so I will be getting my T-shirt at some point. I can't remember what it was. I think it was the dinosaur TFN Manchester t-shirt or something. I don't know. I can't remember what I got now. But yeah, so that was that. So yeah, the Saturday I got, I think, yeah. Anyway, I might be getting mixed up with that, but anyway, I had a little chit chat. There we go, with Grace about that. And then yeah, Saturday registration. I got my wristband, got registered. The doors opened about 10 o'clock for the Trader Hall, and then the opening ceremony started at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I kind of just chilled out because it was starting to get busy. A lot of people were starting to come up. You know, there was Chris and Tim Gaunt. They came the Saturday. There was a load of extra people that just came mostly for like a little bit of the morning into the afternoon. But it was great to see Richard Fieldhouse, Mary, and Grayson as well. It was great to see those guys, those lot. They made the trip on the Saturday as well. But yeah, so I was just, the Saturday went down a treat. It was, oh yeah, and Emily, I have to mention Emily, she made the trip as well because she lives Bolton, and so she came up to see a few people at the event, and so she managed to get a ticket on the door on a Saturday morning, and she went around the dealer rooms for a little bit, and yeah. So it was really, really good. The event itself wasn't hectic. It wasn't all over the place. It wasn't. What I liked about it, I spoke to a few people over the course of the Friday. Over on the Saturday evening actually. I actually spoke to a few people on the Saturday after the event finished and everything, saying that I was actually quite surprised because it was a sold out event. TFN Manchester 2026 was a sold out event, and it didn't feel like a sold out event. It almost felt like you could quite have easily have allowed a few more people in, but you've got to be careful. I understand that the health and safety aspect of things, like you've got to go on how many people you can safely have in one space or in one room. Also the hotel as well, how many people the hotel itself can accommodate, the rooms. One thing I will say is there was 2 dealer rooms. There was actually the dealer room was split into 2 different rooms. So there was 2 rooms for the dealer room. Yeah, dealer room number 1, that was just off of the it was just off of the lobby, and it was just kind of right next to the garden bar. It was literally just in that area. In there you had Primetime Toys, you had Blockies, and you had a Battersea store. And in the middle there was, I think it was the Battersea in there. Anyway, so there was about 3 or 4 stalls in that one. Dealers, dealer room, whatever. And then in the middle there was like a long table, and people sat at the table doing like an art competition. So that was trading room number 1. And then at the very far end of the hotel, there was another one where you had Toy Fu, you had I can't remember what was there. Geekology, whatever. Sven's stall. So there was a few people in there as well. A few stalls in there. So it was split into 2 sections, which I think is actually quite good. I think the fact that it was split into 2 dealer rooms, I think that's why it gave the effect. I think that's probably why it gave the effect of it wasn't as busy as I thought it would be, because it's split into 2 zones. It's split into 2 rooms. So like it's sort of like splitting the mass amount of people up into like room number 2, room number 1. So it's actually, I think that was a kind of a good idea, because even though it was a sold out event, it did not feel like it. I was able to walk in and out of rooms. I wasn't in anybody's way. Nobody was in my way. Nobody was getting really flustered or concerned. I didn't see anybody having an episode or nobody seemed concerned about feeling, claustrophobic or having, not feeling happy in that moment because of the crowd of people. So I didn't notice much of that at all, or any of that, to be honest. But no, the event itself was really, really good. It wasn't hectic. It was chilled out. It just felt like a real nice. I actually agreed with someone. I can't remember the guy's name, but I was talking to somebody. Oh, it was Adam Nicole. It's been about what? I think he said it's been like 6 or 7 years since he was last in Birmingham for an event. So I was talking to him on the Saturday afternoon. Really, really awesome to see Adam Nicole. So yeah, I was talking to him, and he actually said that the vibe he gets from these mini-cons with all these, Manchester events. They're not mini-cons anymore, Manchester events. From these Manchester events is that he kind of gets like a similar vibe to like early auto assembly vibes, like back in like 2008, 9, 10, when there was a lot of people at the event, but it was much more self-contained. There wasn't as many extra people. It was pretty much like the multitude of people that was making up the attendees were people that were either on the forums or on YouTube or what have you. It was like the magnitude of the attendees going to these things were like mostly YouTuber or forum people on forums and YouTube and stuff. But yeah, I kind of get what he's coming from. What Adam Nicole was saying, is that he kind of could see like a similar vibe to like the early auto assemblies, where it was just a small room or a little dealer room with a couple traders, and it was just mainly about meeting up with your friends and having a good old having a drink or what have you, and having a chat and catching up with friends and just meeting new people. And I completely agree. That's what it kind of felt like. I know that might sound very bad of me saying it reminds us of an auto assembly, because TFNation is no longer associated with auto assembly, even though it's something that, TFNation led off of what was once auto assembly. So TFNation is its own thing, it's its own beast, it's going its own direction. But the fact is that I actually do agree that because obviously the earliest auto assembly I know of is 2010. I almost did 2009, but I missed out on the tickets. But 2010 was my first exposure to an auto assembly event. And I will agree, even at 2010, there was a lot more people at that one, because I think 2010 was kind of like a pinnacle, a pivotal point where people started to pick it up as well, other people that never knew about it. So like between 2010 and 2013, within that 2 or 3 year time period of like 2010 to like 2013, those like two or three events in that time zone is when there was like a pivotal point of time when people started noticing the event, people making videos about the events, like myself, like doing my haul videos and thoughts videos and stuff, talking about auto assembly at the very start. And it was like through people like myself and Tony at History One and a few other people making videos as well, that it started to become much more well known. And then I would say that first like 2 or 3, 2010, 11, 12 and 13 time, I will say those events is when it was more like a pivotal moment of when it started to go from being quite chilled to being a little bit more hectic and a little bit much more busier. And you could definitely tell there was a transition period there within that first 2 or 3 events that I was going to. But now with TFNation, obviously TFNation started in 2016 as its own event. It started in 2016, and despite there was 2 times where we was in lockdown period where there was no physical event. But apart from that, it has been going nicely. It's been ticking over. And even though there has been some issues behind the scenes, that has been highlighted by the crew in the past. But it's been absolutely fantastic. I've always enjoyed the TFNation events, but these smaller events that the TFN crew put on are fantastic. They're a great little taster of what you could expect from the event. It's just a great little taster of what to expect. But yeah, I really do say to anybody that has never been to a TFNation event before, at least if you live close enough, if you live relatively close enough to any of these smaller events like the Manchester event, and now I have to say they are not doing Reading anymore. TFN Reading is not happening anymore. They are no longer in Reading for that. They are now doing TFN Swindon. On the screen, I will edit it in. Yeah, TFNation Swindon is on the 21st of November 2026. It's no longer in Reading, it is now Swindon. Apparently that is based, they were saying it's based on, what is it? Apparently it's based on feedback from Reading, saying something about the space or something. There was some issues with the Reading event that people, some of the attendees at that Reading event weren't very happy about, or something, I don't know. But yeah, so they've actually moved to a place called Swindon. Now, the likelihood of me being able to do that event is likely not going to happen, because for like the 21st of November, around about that time period, it's pretty much like at work. I have no chance of taking a time off to do it. I'm not going to be able to do the Swindon one, unfortunately, but yeah, it's because because of where it's located, the date and everything, and the month and all that. No, it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. So we also got a new voice actress as well. What was the voice actress's name? Jessica Carroll. Jessica Carroll was also announced at the ending ceremony. So we've got a new event completely that is replacing Reading. So that's going to be TFN Swindon. That is pretty much all I can really talk about with my thoughts on the event. It was a great event. I thoroughly enjoyed myself as a solo tripper this time, and staying at the Pendulum. The hotel itself, I will just say quickly, I think the Pendulum was actually okay. The staff seemed relatively nice. The hotel staff at the Pendulum, I never really had a problem. I thought the staff on the check-in desk, reception desk were quite nice. There was a guy behind the bar that was quite happy to have a bit of a laugh or a joke, and was very jovial with us, or with me anyway. So the staff seemed quite nice. That was working there. But the Pendulum Hotel, I've never heard of the Pendulum Hotel. I've never heard of it. So I don't know if it's just that one only, or if there is like a small chain of them. I don't know, but I've never heard of them before, and it is a very strange hotel with how it's been put together. But I believe the hotel was it was meant to be like student accommodation or something, and it does look quite nice. Like the lobby area and the aesthetic look as you walk in. It is actually quite a nice little hotel with what they've managed to do with it. It is actually kind of interesting. But right then, so I'm going to move on with my haul. So I'm going to get through my haul a little bit quicker than the post-thoughts part. But I'm not going to go into any particular thingy, but this comic book, some people might have seen this I actually did a video talking about this. I actually got contacted by my good friend Nathan Webb, who does the Britformers comic books. I've done a couple videos. He's reached out to me asking if I could do a video just to kind of help out and get some eyes to the Kickstarter. So this is Psychons and the Armed Forces issue 2. So yeah, this is the full on comic book. But I went to his table, said hello to him, and he very kindly gave me this for free to say thank you for all the support and to say thank you to me for making the video and everything. But I'm very happy. So yeah, go and support Nathan Webb, WE66 illustration. So yeah, thank you very much, Nathan, again for that. That was really kind of you. And then Lena came up to me and said, I've got some a drawing for you. I've got something for you, and this is Lena's drawing of the characters from Chainsaw Man, the anime. Because I went to see, I've got Chainsaw Man the series, and I went to see the film as well, and so very kindly, I've got a little drawing of all the characters from Chainsaw Man. Now, getting on to the toys. Now, I don't have the biggest of hauls, but to be honest, I think my hauls have gotten smaller because I'm not looking for anything in particular. I only kind of operate on what takes my fancy. And I went to Primetime Toys, and they had a lot of the TransArts stuff. I got TransArts 07 or BWM 07. Metal Mouse. This is the Scout edition, so this is actually the actual Transmetal Rat Trap. There is actually, I think, another 2 versions, which is different colours. But this is the actual Transmetal Rat Trap version. And then I noticed when I was going around, this was literally the last one. Quite literally, this was the last one. And I managed to pick up this big guy. Which is Mighty Guardian, which is meant to be their take on Optimal Optimus. And I also got this, and this one I'm actually kind of a little bit more eager to check out once I finally get it open. So I got this. Yeah, Metal T-Rex, Metal Jungle. This is TransArts Transmetal 1 Megatron, and I have the original Transmetal 1 Megatron toy, and so all these are supposed to be like masterpiece scaling. Like I said, I didn't know what to get myself from the event, and I saw this, I saw the Megatron, I saw Rat Trap, and I saw the Optimal Optimus. I saw them all together on the table. And I was just like working out in my head, and I was just like, you know what, sod it. And I literally got all 3 of them right at that moment in time. So I had like, but yeah, I'm very happy with these that I got from Primetime Toys. And then I picked up this, which is the TFNation exclusive figure, is the 3-0 Toxitron. I did try to go on the website to try and get it, but it wasn't happening. So I managed to pick one up at the event itself. So I have the TFNation official exclusive Toxitron. I'm a big fan of like the other interpretations or the other versions of the Optimus Prime molds. I will say this though, this is actually my first Toxitron I own. This is actually my very first ever Toxitron. I've had Shattered Glass and I've had Nemesis Primes, but I've never had a Toxitron. And then the last thing I got, because you've got to go by Toyfu, you've got to go to Toyfu and give them a check out. I managed to get myself a complete G1 Menazor. I went to Toy Food's table. Well, I went by Toy Food's table a couple of times, but this was literally the last purchase I made on the Saturday, and just look how good. Look at that, the stickers and everything. I don't know if these have likely been reapplied by somebody, but the stickers look good. And the only thing on this is that this arm's a little bit loose, but I can live with it. It's an old toy. It's a G1. But I've never had... I've got the... is it Legacy? Legacy Evolution, the Menasor Combiner, the big one. I've got that one, but I've never had the G1 Stunticons. So I've got all the guys. It comes with all the bits. They're up on my shelf up there for now. So it comes like with the guns for drag strip and everything. You see, it comes with the fists and the feet. It comes with his sword. It comes with his gun. It comes with the little car that makes the chest plate as well, which is usually often a missing piece on this. But I'm very happy with my G1 Menasor. Yeah, so like I said, I went to Toy Food, picked it up from Toy Food, and they had it labelled up for £100. And I thought, yeah, that's not bad actually, you know, considering. But it was £100 dead. And I gave them the money, and I just went, here, here's an extra tenner as well. So I gave them 110 good British pounds towards Mary's Meals. So it's all for a good cause. So yeah, but I'm very, very happy to. You know what? It's very rare I actually buy G1 stuff these days. This is the first thing in quite a number of years that I've actually picked up that is actually a G1 figure. Also, just remembered, I got these guys off of Our Fire. He was going round the dealer room with a box of blockies, and he was like, "Nosy, take your blocky. This box must be this box must be empty. It's before the time I go home." And I was like, "Okay." So I have a look inside and I said, "Are you sure?" You know, because I don't like just taking things from people without saying, "Are you sure?" first, because you know I don't want to be one of them people. But no, I managed to get a couple of blockies off of him, and I got Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. Let me just put him over here a minute. And Shattered Glass Ratchet. So I got a little Ratchet, Shattered Glass Ratchet, and Shattered Glass Optimus Prime off of blockies off of Arrowfire. Thank you. But Menasor, Bruticus, and Devastator are my, and also Predaking. They're my four favourite combiner teams or combiners. So yeah, well, I'm very happy. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to everybody that made TFN Manchester 2026 a great event for me. I did thoroughly enjoy myself. It was a great time. And I'm very much looking forward to July/August for the big party, the main event. Very much looking forward to that. That is going to be a fantastic event, like always. But thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves. And thank you to everybody that came up to me and said hello, spoke to me. If you remember speaking to me, sound off in the comments below. Let me put a face to the name. Thank you. Take care. See you in July/August if you're going. Bye-bye for now.